Here we are back out in the greenhouse, bright and early in the morning. Sun has just come up. You can see it over there, looking bright. And somebody's neighbor's dog. You know, I just don't allow my dogs to bark randomly, but not all my neighbors feel that that is something important. Anyway, I'm back out here again this morning, and I'm checking things out. I've been out to water, and you saw me put all the other stuff in. I've been continuing to water these 4 pots so that they would generate, get a little bit of moisture in them. And I think this morning I'm going to go ahead and plant them. Now, nothing has come up so far, and I'm actually going to change my strategies a little bit. The seeds are old. The temperature is probably a little chillier than would be totally ideal. So what I'm going to do is, after I get done planting these today, I'm going to cover with a row cover to keep them warmer during the day and at night. It is not freezing it here at night, but it's still a little chilly. It'll mean that the germination goes way slower. So yeah, we're going to see if we can speed that up a little bit. I won't know probably for 2 weeks as to whether this is going to work at all, because like I say, the seeds are older. I usually have very good germination, even if the seeds are older, because I store the stuff properly. That helps a lot. Rufus is busy. He's got his collar on this morning, so you can hear him jingly. Yeah, I won't know for a couple of weeks as to whether this is going to work or not, but we're still going to give it a try. So I'm going to put some other stuff in these 4 containers here. Going to water everything, and then I'm going to cover it with a row cover. And we'll see if that speeds things up at all. It should. So hopefully it will. Because we really want to have some of our own stuff this winter. And it should have happened a couple of months ago that we got it all started. It just didn't. But we are able to control the temps in here to a certain extent. So we get a lot of heat during the day, and I have closed up that fan at the other end. I have not, barricaded it. I actually have stuff I can put in front of it to help to reduce the amount of air leakage and stuff like that. I haven't done that yet. I may do that soon. It still gets pretty uncomfortably warm in here during the day, but we need to be pumping that heat into the pots so that the seeds will think it's a good idea to grow. So I'll be back in a couple minutes. Okay, here we are. We are all planted. Now, what did we plant? Let me turn this one around so I can read it. It's like, which side do you put the thing on? Okay. Purple Vienna. Purple Vienna is a purple kohlrabi. And the reason I have decided to plant it is that we love kohlrabi, and we have actually 2 other pots of kohlrabi, Tarek and Quickstar here. Tarek has been our favorite in the past. Quickstar is still good. I'm just using up some of the seeds. I see no reason not to. They were tasty. They just didn't grow quite as robustly as Tarek did. Purple Vienna I have had terrible luck with. And my theory has been, and it is just a theory, that I was always planting them at a time of year when it got too hot too fast and they just couldn't handle it. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but what would always happen with Purple Vienna is I would get leaves and they would never bulb. Now, that means no matter what I did, fertilizing, and there's some plants that are very sensitive to boron deficiencies and stuff. Spinach is one of those. That's this little guy down here, spinach. So I'll be definitely giving them some micro minerals later on, but could never get Purple Vienna to bulb. And I decided that, okay, I still have some seeds. I'm going to try it at a different time of year when it's not getting super hot. And if it doesn't cut it, I'm just not going to grow it anymore. This is kind of the last try for me. I can't think of anything else that I'm doing. I mean, I'm careful about nutrition. I'm careful about water. All the things. The only thing that I have a limited ability to control is the temperature. So They're a pretty plant. Let's see, I think there's a picture on the front of my, yep. They look like a regular kohlrabi, except they're purple. And like I say, we've tried, oh gosh, 2, 3, maybe 4 times to grow them. But it's always been a time of the year when sometimes it just got hotter than we expected it to. So one more shot. This is it, kids. Obviously, I got mine from Haas Tools, and I don't know that that has anything to do with it, but because their seeds are usually excellent. It could be that this is just not suited to our climate. So we'll see. We'll see. So what else have I planted? I planted back here choy sum. Choy sum is a Chinese vegetable. Sometimes when you get a dish at a restaurant, if it's an authentic restaurant in some place in the United States where they can actually get real Chinese vegetables, that's what this, I wrote choy sum on it because that's what it is. But the name of it is Green 70D Improved, which just really rings out lovely, you know. But this was a Johnny Select Seeds plant. We've had good luck with it in the past in terms of germination and growing. It tends to be a bit susceptible to thrips. Thrips are at their lowest, if existent at all, at this time of year. So I figured I'd give them a try. It's a fast-growing plant, so in 42 days, if it germinates, I should have, you know, something to eat. Now, they are more susceptible, even though they're in the cabbage family, they are more susceptible to cold than some other things are. But we're going to give it a try anyway, because I can cover, and if I have to, I can heat. I'm trying not to. This is Bright Lights. Now, Bright Lights is a Swiss chard. We have grown, for a bunch of years in a row, we grew Swiss chards. We've grown it in the garden. We've grown it in pots in a secondary garden. We've grown it, let's see, when we had a straw bale garden, we had some in pots right next to it. Very prolific, pretty tough. It's technically, it's grown as an annual, but it can kind of be a perennial because it kind of keeps going. So I decided it's time to drag it up again. If you eat the leaves when they are young and tender, they're delicious. They can get a bit bitter when they get older, but then it becomes more like the kales and stuff, which we honestly don't care for. But the stems are great chopped up in Chinese food, and the leaves are great either as tiny babies, either in salad or just cooked up like a spinach or any other kind of green. And this is Sweet Stem. Sweet Stem is a hybrid mini broccoli from Johnny Select Seeds, and it just produces tons and tons of little stems. The stems are delicious, and so are the little teeny florets. It's what would people be used to. Like I say, it's a mini broccoli, but it probably, to most people, the closest thing they'd be accustomed to would be a broccolini, where you have longer stems with little tiny florets. They're delicious. So I figured I'd throw that in here too. I have watered everybody, so everybody's had their drink this morning. Nobody's dry. Some of the pots bottoms have a little bit of water in them, some don't. I may actually just pour a little water in the bottom of some of them just to make sure, to increase the humidity in here. And I'm going to cover the whole things with row cover. So, yep, I'll bring it back in just a minute. Okay, now we're looking like we've been all bundled up. This will do two things. It'll help to keep the moisture in, so we'll get less evaporation out of the pots. And Rufus is sniffing everything because he's like, what is this junk? Rufus, out of there. Thank you. He's like, I don't understand this. This is boring. I'll give him some treats when we're done. Anyway, so it'll keep the moisture in, which helps things to germinate, if they're going to. And it'll also help to keep the heat in, both during the day and at night. We have a You can see that the greenhouse is not clear. It's got a infrared cover on the outside of it, and what that does is it keeps some of the heat out. So it does reduce the amount of heat that comes in during the day, but it also reduces the heat that we lose at night, because it actually bounces the heat that was out, that's inside, back inside, rather than letting it escape out into the atmosphere and just radiate. So yeah, that's where we are. We'll see how this works. Hopefully it'll work well, and we'll have vegetables to talk about in a little while. If we don't start seeing vegetables, probably within 2 weeks, I'm going to probably replant. And that's always funny, because sometimes what'll happen is you'll get plants that'll come up way later. So then you kind of have a mixed bag. So I don't like to usually do that, because if you have a mixed bag, sometimes you can't tell what you have in your pots. And I do like to actually know what I've got going on. So there he is, looking very sad. And he's going to get a couple of treats, and then we're going to go back in the house and have some breakfast. Yeah, so it's really not as awful as he makes it out to be. He's just trying to look pathetic. Rufus. Hi. Are you looking pathetic? He says, no, I'm looking cute. You should know that, Mom. I'm very cute. He says, I did a stand up for you. You should give me a treat. I can do that. Oops. But not that big a treat. I have a treat pouch. So he's like, okay, I'm not sure if that was worth it or not. See you later. Bye.